with coverage you can count on. This is News 2 at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Brendan Clark. For the first time tonight, we hear from a survivor of the Emmanuel AME church shooting about what happened the night of June 17, 2015. Today, a final jury chosen and opening statements and witness testimony immediately began in the federal death penalty trial of admitted Charleston church shooter Dylan Roof. News 2's Ashley Yost was inside the courthouse for this emotional testimony. She joins us live downtown with more. Tough to sit in there and listen to that, I'm sure, Ashley.
It was indeed, Brendan. There were lots of tears sobbed, not just from victims, family members, but reporters in the courtroom, people who had just come to watch. And one of the most emotional parts of today was the testimony of Felicia Sanders, one of the survivors. She and the federal prosecutor took time in the beginning to talk about each of the 12 people who were there that day, so the jury could get to know them through her eyes. Then the federal prosecutor pivoted to talk about June 17th, that Wednesday night Bible study, and the defendant, Dylan Roof. She said it wasn't odd having a visitor. She even said, if he told me he needed a place to stay, I guarantee you he would have had a place in my house. She then described hearing the shots once they had bowed their heads to pray at the end of Bible study. She said by the time she realized what was happening, Reverend Clemente Pinckney had already been shot. She talked about putting her feet in her son and her aunt's blood so he would think she was already dead. Talked about nuzzling her granddaughter so tight into her chest she thought she strangled her so that she wouldn't make any noise. And finally, she talked about watching her son take his last breaths in front of her after he tried to get the defendant to stop. The government also called a handful of law enforcement and showed body camera footage from one officer. The video showed them securing the scene with guns drawn, talking to survivors and trying to get them to a safe place. It showed the officers counting the victims who laid on the floor of the church basement and the frantic but organized process as they tried to piece together what happened, as the sound of ambulances and fire trucks roared in the background of the video. At the end of court, not just be emotional, but it would also be graphic as they show some of the images from this crime scene. He also told the family members that there's no shame if they want to be in another room for that process. Brendan.
What about the person that caused this? Dylan Roof was also in that courtroom. What was his demeanor like during all this testimony, Ashley?
Brendan, for this jury selection process, we saw him talking some as he was acting as his own lawyer. Today, that was not the case. He was sitting at the end of the table, just his head down for almost the entirety of the process. And Felicia Sanders, during her testimony, she said that was the way he was during that Bible study day, looking down. And here today, she said he's refusing to look at me. In downtown Charleston, Ashley Yost, News 2.
Tough day inside that courtroom. Thank you very much, Ashley Yost, as she is covering the Dylan Roof federal trial for us every day. The final jury was narrowed down quickly this morning from the pool of 67 potential jurors. There are now 12 jurors and 6 alternates. 12 of them are white, 5 are black, and 1 lists race as other. There are 13 women, 5 men. We will not know until the end of the trial, though, which of the 18 are serving on the jury and which are alternates.